everyone, it's Emmy Hall at TFL Car. We're here with another episode of TFL Talk, and next to me is my partner in crime, Nathan Adlin. Nathan, what's going on?
Not a whole lot of nada, but I tell you what is going on, and that is disappointments, and we're going to cover that this week. And that is something very special and dear to our hearts, because we try not to bitch and moan too much about the vehicles, but a lot of you do, and we agree with you more often than you might believe.
Yes.
So what we wanted to do was cover our top 5 disappointments in terms of things that are happening in the automotive industry or specific cars that may have, well, frankly, left us disappointed.
Yes. Now, of course, you know we're going to have problems with the fact that you just can't get a manual anymore. And one of the big things, I know, Nathan, you drove this car. I have yet to drive it, but you can't get a manual in the Alpha 4C. And that is a travesty as far as I'm concerned.
Now, here's the funny thing. And we brought Andre, the angry Russian mechanic, with us to the event. And when I asked the head guy of the whole thing during the press event saying, hey, what about a manual transmission? He just looked right at me and said, no. And
like that? He just looked
was deadpan. Actually, and he specifically said, and there's a reason why I say no. His reason was, see, the entire tub of the Alfa Romeo 4C is handmade, and it's all carbon fiber. So it's sort of bespoke to everything that connects to it, including the transmission. It's a decent transmission, don't get me wrong, but the fact is this is such a driver's car. It needs a 6-speed or 7-speed manual transmission.
Yeah, you really need to feel connected to the road in that car.
It's got everything else. Everything else is there. And maybe make it a discount version of the car. I don't know, price it in at $45,000.
I'd buy it in a heartbeat.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh,
I mean, I can't even
so
fit properly and I'd buy it. So we are disappointed that the Alfa Romeo 4C does not have a manual option here or in Europe.
Oh, it's terrible. But, you know, also speaking of manuals, one of my favorite little sporty SUVs, or crossovers rather, is the Nissan Juke. It's incredibly weird looking, which I enjoy. We had it out at Core here in Colorado at that little off-road park at Core, and just went flying around this thing. I mean, it is so much fun. It's usable. There's a lot of room inside, but unfortunately you can't get the all-wheel drive with a manual. You have to get the CVT, and that is just... I mean, if I don't want a front-wheel drive car. I want rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, and I want a manual, and I just wish that they could put those two things together. It's
almost as if they're scared to compete with Subaru or someone like that.
Yeah.
They have a 1.6-liter turbocharged engine in this thing, and it's a fantastic little engine.
It's so much fun.
It really is zippy. And I've driven the front-wheel drive version, which you can get with a stick in Los Angeles and all throughout Southern California, and it rocked. In fact, for a very cheap turbocharged 6-speed manual transmission vehicle, that's the one you should look at if you can get over the looks. I know you like it, but you know, it looks like a frog.
I know, it's great.
But the point, I agree with you 100%. If they had an all-wheel drive version of that, oh hell, man, they wouldn't be able to keep them on the showroom floor.
I know, because then I would like drop a bigger turbo in it.
Hell yeah.
It would be like the Juke R all over. You know, I could make my own little Juke R.
That would be really cool. So once again, a manual transmission issue.
Right. But now, also speaking of Subaru, the new WRXs and STIs have recently come out, and unfortunately, well, number one, they offer a CVT in the WRX, and they are under government pressure to up their overall MPGs across the whole line, and CVTs get better miles per gallon than regular automatics. So, like, I get it. It's terrible, but I get it. But another thing about that is that you can't get the hatch anymore in the WRX and the STI.
Man, you know, it's funny because when I went to the event, and Subaru was kind of wishy-washy about what events we're allowed to go to, if any. But the point is that this event I went to, and I you know, everybody else was saying, well, where's the hatch? And the guy said, no, people want to buy the sedan. They're really not. And it's just like every person I've spoken to who's a Subaru fan seems to prefer the option of having a hatchback. And the thing is, you know, come on, guys. You know, the hatchbacks are, what do you think it's going to interfere with Forester sales? Do you think it's going to jump into something? It's not. This is a performance car that a lot of people understand. Hot hatches have really good reasons for existence, including being able to bring all of your gear, your tires, your jacks, and everything else to the racetrack. Now, real quickly, Subaru specifically said, aha, but we made a larger trunk, and so you're able to put the seats down, and you can put 4 tires in here. 4 tires will fit, and nothing else.
Yeah.
Believe me, it's been tried. It's been tried. So
did you try to put 4 tires and yourself in the trunk of it?
oh no, not in the trunk. No. I was driving it and the tires, and then we were going to put a jack in there, and there was absolutely
you couldn't
no room.
put a jack in there?
No. And it was just like, okay, hey, can I get you to follow me? So you have the jack.
Yeah. No, I mean, hatches are incredibly sexy, and they're super utilitarian. I mean, if I lived in a cold weather climate full time, like in Boulder, I would definitely be looking at a WRX as my winter car, right? Because they're all-wheel drive, they're still performance, they're a lot of fun. But I would have to go with the used one because I want the hatch.
Exactly.
And they're losing, I think they're actually losing market share because they haven't put that hatch in there. People are going to go for, for a used WRX or STI that they can get in the hatch. So, I don't know, Subaru, come on, help us out here.
Yeah, the whole, here's the ball, and drop it.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, so anyway, we're going to move on. We're not going to bash
We're going to move on to a little muscle car. Now, a couple years ago, I got to drive the Mustang Boss 302, and it was fantastic. It was by far my favorite Mustang. It's not the most powerful, but I felt like it was the one that really, really handled the best and really got you around the turns. It was just an absolute blast to drive.
Emmy and I both agree that the Mustang Boss is the best all-around Mustang built in terms of being able to drive it every day and yet take it to the track and beat the crap out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
It was responsive. It felt light on its toes. It was fast. It had plenty of brake. It had everything needed for an idiot like me to drive or somebody who is as skilled as Emmy to drive, and both of us having an excellent time. And it's gone.
Yeah, and it was affordable too.
It was.
And it came in a manual, and it came in that orange, and then you could get the Laguna Seca package. I mean, so who knows now that the 2015 is out and they've reworked the rear suspension to the independent rear suspension. Who knows if they're going to come out with another Boss in another couple years? But if you can find a Boss now, I will buy it.
I'd buy it now. It's one of the best cars in its league. I mean, just think about what you get for that much power, for the weight, power to weight ratio.
Yeah.
And the fact is, it can be driven every single day.
Yeah.
Good car. It's a shame that it's gone.
I totally agree. And our last one has to do with towing. Now, I've always been a Jeep girl. If I ever buy a 4-wheel drive car, it's going to be a Jeep Wrangler. I love them. They're a convertible. They will go over anything. They look really good. I mean, I absolutely love Jeeps, but they have a crappy tow ratio.
Yes, they do.
Rating. Yeah, rating. Sorry.
The thing is that with the two-door Jeep, if you're lucky, you can go and tow maybe a jet ski or something like that. The Unlimited, which is the 4-door Jeep, has a tow rating maximum of 3,500 pounds.
Yeah.
And that isn't quite enough
It's not enough for me. My race car is actually a big fat pig, and she weighs 1,800 pounds. And then I have the trailer, and then I've got all the other stuff that I need to put on the trailer, like the spare tires, and the gas, and the tools, and the jack, and all that stuff. So, I'm going to be really, really close to 3,500 pounds.
Maybe over it.
Yeah, and if I had a Jeep that I could tow the race car with, then I can go to the races, unhook the Jeep, and now, boom, I have my chase vehicle.
That's right. And what I've noticed before, and I've met a lot of people who have towed with these Jeeps, is that even if you keep it slightly under 3,500 pounds, there's a lot of sag, and it just doesn't really feel very comfortable. But the new Pentastar engine has no problem dealing with the weight. So the question is, why can't these vehicles tow a little bit more? And once again, Jeep people and Ram people have talked to me about this, because the Ram 1500 with the Pentastar V6 hauls a lot more. So part of it has to do with the underbody, with the frame. It has to do with the suspension. It's not just the engine, which frankly I think is not even the issue. So what we're hoping to do is get it out there that a lot of people need to tow just a little bit more, not just Emmy. There are people who want to tow more than one ATV or more than just a boat. They want to add a few things to it, like gas and sleeping bags. And getting to that 3,500 pound rate, even that is a little much for those trucks. So maybe in the future, Jeep can kind of up that rating a little bit.
Have an optional towing package that...
If there's a diesel, maybe that would happen.
Diesel, that'd be so awesome.
It might, if they, right now, Mark Allen is like painting a circle, and I got two things like that. And you're, shut up, both of you. We're hoping that they'll do the diesel. I know all of you are too, or a lot of you are.
Oh, that would be awesome. That would be great.
Anyway, so that's our top 5. And guys, if you have any comments or questions or statements, which you seem to have often, go ahead and drop it below, or go to TFLcar.com. You can get real-world reviews there. But most importantly, hey, chime in. If you have extra questions or comments about what we just talked about, let us know.
Yep, and you can find us on all the social medias. We're on the Facebook, we're on the Twitters, we're on the Instagram. It's everywhere on the internet.
That's right, baby.
Thanks so much, y'all. We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.